What up, everybody? Welcome to the IAG Thursday thing, this thing that we do every Thursday where we all hang out, try to learn something, hang out with cool people, and honestly just do some Subaru community stuff. And I think this week we've got some really awesome Subaru community stuff to talk about. I am super stoked about this week. Joining us in person, we're in the we call it the IAG Cry Closet. Where it used to be the media room, so it's got kind of some sound deadening, but they took most of it down.
Except that gigantic hole in the ceiling, I just noticed.
We don't talk about that, okay? It's in the 78th floor of the IAG tower. But
West Wing.
The West Wing. Either way, it's we're in the cry room, and I'm joined this week by Nick from Subimods again. Dude, what's up?
That's it. Now we're in person. We're running it back again. It's another good hour to chat about.
A lot happened since last time too.
Yeah, it has. Yeah. It's crazy. The year that was November.
Something like that, dude. A lot happened since then.
2 weeks later, it's February.
Mm-hmm. That's what it felt like. It felt like Christmas happened, and now we're here.
They say I'm getting old.
Dude, and the older you get, the faster time rips by.
I know.
It just starts going Friday.
Yeah, something. Someone told me something once about it, and I'm completely spacing it now, so a pointless part of that discussion from my end. But it's time just burns.
Yeah.
And we're not getting any younger. So.
No, which is, I mean, kind of the conversation we're gonna have today.
Yeah.
We're also joined by executive producer Jordan, who's always here to save our ass and make sure all our equipment runs right. I love you, dude. And Randy is actually physically in this building right now. But since he's here, he couldn't make a thumbnail, so we kind of regurgitated the old one, and I wrote again on it.
That was the drifting one?
And I just wrote again on it.
Yeah,
I just awesome. Crammed again on it.
Hell yeah, that's love it.
But warranty, unfortunately, is doing adult things, so we're probably not going to have warranty. But, what are you going to do?
That's it.
That's it.
We're going to make it happen either way.
But either way, dude, it's awesome having you here. You've been running around touring the place. You've been here before, but I think you got to actually dig in some stuff a little more than you had before.
Yeah, no, this is actually my first time on site.
Wow, really?
No, yeah,
oh, this place, that's got to be wild for you. The first time I came here in this place has grown a ton since then. It is a mind fuck, dude.
I mean, you for me, obviously, we sell parts in boxes. Mostly,
yeah.
Right. Like that's, I don't want to downplay what we do, but that's the meat and potatoes of it. So, you come here and then you walk through the doors and then you go, oh, okay, this is
wild.
This is wild. This is really yeah, people can have opinions about, whoever company they support, but IAG is really doing it. There's no smoke and mirrors. I urge anyone to come up here and take a tour, because I just walked through every room I walked into. I was like, all right, there's another 20, 30, 40, grand in equipment. It's a big investment for what you guys do.
The engine room is insane.
Oh,
so they just kind of got the line together.
Yes.
The first time I came through, and I had preconceived notions before I worked here.
So did I.
Of kind of how this assembly
I've seen an assembly room in a machine
and I'm
shop.
A lot of them went away immediately.
Oh yeah. What I was commenting on was I asked Adam, I said, I've seen engine shops, right? I've seen clean floors. I've seen, staged rooms. I said, but what I never saw was mass production.
The quantity.
Yeah.
That's what, when you look at how we buy pistons.
Correct.
It's insane.
Just that.
You try to explain, a good engine shop, a good one that does Subaru stuff will have 10 sets of a certain piston. Yeah. That's a really,
really
that's a busy
that's
one,
a robust,
okay? And then we're ordering shit here.
Crates.
In flats. That's not even a word you use for pistons, but it's a fucking 20 by 20 or whatever.
There's not even a box for that. It comes in a crate.
It comes in and then we go through and we bid them.
Yeah.
It's wild, and
it's how much you look at where, you look at even, and not to say fuck the process of buying the parts, but think about the fact that they had to develop, IAG had to go, you can't just, it's not like you could walk into another engine shop and take a model.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're going to set this up like this, or we're going to stage this like this, or we're going to titrate that like that. That's time of doing it. Yeah. That's failing, succeeding, learning, recreating. So what you see today, or what I saw today, is 10 years.
Yeah,
in the making.
Of getting to there. Yeah, and it's constantly being developed.
Correct. Well, that was just shocking to me. And then seeing the amount of investment that goes into even a simple thing of like, hey, when we're torque plating things, we're investing in, the tools to mount the torque plates that have a specific PSI to every one.
Yeah.
So we know, like, we could, even if someone has a bad day, right? Hypothetically, they're not having that's not a bad engine from that part. Like, there's something to be said about risk mitigation and building a motor.
Absolutely.
And I've never seen it like that.
It's crazy.
So, like, you're not buying just a long block.
You're not buying, well, like, a lot of people look at our like our IAG 550 and they're like, where they're just slapping rods and pistons in a stock block and tossing it. That's not anywhere close. And
I guess it's easy, for someone on the outside to perceive that.
Well, I was that guy.
Yeah.
And here I am, the front end of a major shop in the Midwest, and I'm believing that.
Yeah.
And that's why they brought me and the guys out here to like, no, you actually got to see this. And then we went and, completely changed my concept.
And I think that's funny that you say that, because like, that's what I was thinking about it before when I was just talking to Kent. I was like, dealers need to come out here.
They need to do like, yes.
People need to be like, it should not be an abnormality that I'm one dealer that comes here.
It would invigorate a lot of dealers, I think.
Yeah. And even just for me as an owner, like I walk through here and I'm like, all right, check.
Yeah.
Like bar reset, because you think you're the king of every owner of a business is the king of their castle. Mm-hmm. Right.
You are the big fish in said size pond.
Yeah. Right. I'm apex predator in my land.
Yeah.
But come here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yup.
All right.
Reset some shit, right?
Reset some shit. Let's put some perspective on it. And that's always good to do. If you're not doing that as an owner, you're risking everything.
Yep. Yeah, it's really wild. You also got to see our engine dyno, and then my favorite thing that we have here, the Spintron.
Yeah, so I was pushing. I'm one of those people where I don't. For everyone who doesn't know me, maybe even JJ, for example, like something that's interesting. I think you'd agree. Both of us, we're like in it.
Yeah.
Like we're not like private equity. Like like we come in on Friday and have lunch and go. No. Fuck it. Like thanks guys.
Yeah.
Hoorah, keep going. I need another yacht. So when I see stuff like that, I'm like, JJ, can you fire that thing up?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh, and he's all like,
yeah. He was over there. He pushed the button and turned it on.
Button. Yeah, he's screwed with it. He's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm like, turn that shit on. Like,
yeah, Greg's over there going, JJ's like, let's hit the button, dude.
Don't turn it on. But that's me. Like, that's my energy. Like, I look at something like that, and I'm not like, oh, that's cool.
Dude, a lot of this stuff, too, it's like extreme adult Legos with him.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he's like, him buying CNC machines and shit, dude, he loves that.
Well, that's what I think. I made sure to stay away from it, but like when Adam's giving me the tour with Kent and everyone, I'm looking at him like, let me get up in there. Let me see what that is. I'm curious on that. Like, open the door.
I want to see this shit, man.
Like, dude, like, this is cool. This is what...
Exactly.
This is my living.
Yeah. Well, not only that, it's just cool. You know what I mean? If you've got that kind of mind, you just want to look at, like, I want to know how that works. That's cool as shit.
And part of my job is, like, at the end of the day, like, maybe I'm more removed from it now, but I still have to work with the team. I still have to train the team, is to take this info back and get it to my team. Mm-hmm. So they can get it to the customers
in a way that
is cool.
And that's gonna, not only that, that can be hard for some people to articulate. Like I've tried to explain that for years. It's not an easy, and we have tried to do that from here. And this is, I'm not trying to bag on our media team in any way. Okay, like these guys do a great job. It's until you see it in person, it's hard to articulate it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even, for anyone who's never seen it, I actually stopped. We were back towards the back corner, and I actually was I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to be like that guy, but I wanted to be like, all right, relative to where we walked in.
Yeah, where are we?
Where are we now? Because
this place is laid out all crazy. Yeah. And not only that, now they started
building
on this side. They're building up.
Yeah.
So
it's just everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's good. I mean, it's good to see this type of engineering and manufacturing and investment happening here.
Yes.
It isn't a copy mill.
No.
Like this isn't, someone else made something, we took it, and
let's not mention anything.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there, but everyone kind of can interpret what I'm saying.
Torque Solutions. I said it.
I try to be Switzerland, but yeah,
man, I've been banging on that place forever.
I will just say what this is not, and this is not a place where the investment is solely coming from unboxing stuff and sending it overseas and then getting back 5
That is
pieces.
Not what this is in any way.
It's not, and I can for whatever that's worth for anyone listening, if you trust what I'm saying, then that's what it is.
So since we talked last time.
Yeah.
Okay, since we talked last time, you guys started teasing all sorts of shit. I keep seeing engines and race cars on your social. What the fuck is going on? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, so I mean, we obviously the last time we talked, we started talking about drifting. What I got into. Obviously that hasn't proven. And then this is, I guess, kind of the truth of any motorsport. It hasn't proven to be financially positive.
No.
I don't think
anybody who's listening, I need you to hear this, okay?
It won't make you money.
It's a rough world out there, man.
You
want to make $1 million racing? Start with 10 million.
Yeah. I've never heard that before, but that's exactly
what it is.
Mine's more like a little more negative than that, honestly. Yeah. But the reality was I found an outlet through it. I found a passion in it. I like the weekends, right? I like going to the track. I like the anxiety and the buildup of it. And then I like that releasing in one shot when you get on the track.
Yeah.
Like I've done a lot of stupid shit in my life politically. And I can't really do that shit anymore. So I had to find that from another release. Sure. And racing and motorsport has been that for me. And then the question was, how do we port that to the company? Because there's a lot of you see this a lot, right? I mean, this isn't unique where companies will try to claim that their race team is profitable.
Yeah,
and it really, they do all this great stuff, but then they don't do anything for the community.
Yeah,
right. Like
I love this about some of the concepts we've talked about, but you're right.
Yeah,
the community is the reason that the place even exists.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's one of the vibe I've always got from you and your company, in which you guys really are really community based. And that's
there's no other
option. You have to. Not only that, you kind of have to love this. Let's be real. This isn't. You're not going to get filthy rich.
No,
doing this.
No, I don't know what anyone's perceptions are on the other side of the computer, but any day you would like 9 Old Windsor Road, set a meeting up with me in Bloomfield, Connecticut, and I'll show you some profit tables. There is, we're not making 190,000% on everything we're selling.
No.
So it takes a lot to turn this into something that could support something like this.
Yeah.
So the dollars that we make are extremely extremely valuable. So for me, the question I always posed was, what are you doing with that big hauler at the event? What are you doing with that, that really nice new polished race car?
Yes.
Well, I guess at the end of the day, you could bring it to the track, you could show up, you could set some lap times, and you could go home, and that's cool, right?
Yeah. And there's something to, like, you show up with a big hauler, you kick the race car off the back, you go set a record, yada, yada, yada.
There's something to that.
And then guys are like, well, maybe they look at, maybe it's a big IAG hauler.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they go, well, they did it using their products and their engine. Yeah. Obviously, that's
there's something
proven
to
in
that.
some way.
Yes.
And I always really appreciate when any company goes and
puts their money where their mouth
is and uses their product
Agreed.
to go do. That's awesome. But
for what I mean, though, to your point, is what comes after that.
Exactly.
Because you've already invested all the money to have the staff, the cars, the team, the people, all that there. And, what are you doing when you're not driving? Well, you see some teams and some drivers, they sit in the trailer.
Yeah.
They sit behind the trailer. They're not out engaging with the community. And I'm like, well, you literally already spent all the money. It doesn't cost you anything more to just be a part of the community.
Exactly. Or try to build something bigger.
And, a lot of times people will say, oh, it does cost money. Well, honestly, it doesn't, because if I sell this idea to hypothetically, a lubricant company, right? And I say, hey, I need to bring, I'm going to these events anyway. Let's just say I'm going to these Gridlife events, and I'm just throwing an idea out there, right? A hypothetical. Yeah. And I say, hey, I want to make it so that at any Gridlife, if anyone needs any type of lubricant for any reason, brake fluid, oil, gear oil, whatever.
Yeah.
They can walk over to our tent. Hey man, I need quarter 5:30. I got you, brother.
Yep.
Here you go.
Here you go.
Here you go. Now, most people would look at that and be like, wow, they just gave away $10. Little did they know, I didn't pay for that pallet.
No.
I sold that idea to that lubricant company.
Yes.
That lubricant company.
Because of where you sit within the industry.
The influence.
The influence behind that, you can do a lot with that.
Correct.
And this is like
with great power comes great responsibility.
It does, but sometimes, most people would look at that as the responsible thing to do
would be to just take all of it.
Yeah, take all of it and then
put it in inventory and take the co-op and
Sometimes with great power it needs to come hook your fucking homies up.
Yeah. But like that's the big thing. And I say that idea is just a very simple one that we had, but it was like
but let's break it down to something real specific. Yeah. Brake fluid's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say you go to a Gridlife event and there's some kid there in a BRZ.
Absolutely.
And this is his first time ever competing at one of these events.
For sure.
And he cooks his fluid and he's ill prepared. He doesn't know who to talk to, whatever.
Yeah.
But
his day might be over.
Because he doesn't know what's going on in his brakes. He's new at this whole thing. If he had somebody to go up to have a conversation with and go, hey man, I got you some brake fluid. Yeah. Now I'm not gonna lie. With what limited resources we've always had, I will always say Gridlife, that community is pretty good about that.
Yeah.
But what if there's a lot of things that are very Subaru specific?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when that happens, they end up with me, and I have this rat box trailer with a car that I'm holding together with self tappers and shit.
I'm taping a 14 mil up to get a crescent wrench on that brake line.
There's only so much I can do for a lot of these guys. I do my best.
Yeah.
But what if we had a Subimods?
Yeah.
And
that's where I would say, like, for us, the big idea that we've concepted that we want to hear the community outreach, right? Like this isn't to say this isn't happening. This isn't to say this isn't happening. This is to say this is what we're thinking.
Yes, this is the concept.
This is the concept.
We're throwing shit at a wall and see what sticks.
And as convoluted as this sounds, we're throwing shit at a wall about 60 days before we have to actually paint the wall and make it something nice.
Look up, man.
Yeah. Let me tell you, if you knew how last minute I was, this is very well prepared. But our goal in that scenario with that Motul or that Motul discussion, right, with that brake fluid, right, that customer with the new BRZ cooks the brake fluid, they need some RBF 660 or 600, right?
Yeah.
Everyone comes from different walks of life, right? This kid or adult, whoever it is, may never have done brake fluid.
Exactly.
They've never bled brakes.
They've been bleeding them the wrong way this whole time.
And we could hand off that brake fluid and he could bleed those brakes wrong and go into turn one.
Exactly.
And have an issue.
Yep.
So how do we I don't want to say control that, but how do we put some safeguards around that?
Not only that, how do we share the knowledge and resources?
Correct. How do we bring that person up to some speed that they weren't at before?
Yeah.
Because this is the
value add.
Yes.
Here. Okay.
When I first started drifting, granted I came into it as, all right, Subimods, like it wasn't me. Like, there's some additional value that comes behind that, right? But I've seen people I've felt the anxiety of you don't know anyone.
Yeah.
You're walking up to someone.
This is your first time. You don't know what's going on.
You're not going to walk up to you or me.
Dude, what's really crazy is...
Maybe some people do.
Well, I've had guys staring at me way off man, do I just go talk to him? And I'm like, dude, I am
The noob.
I am not that guy. Okay, no. Come on over.
I don't give myself that much credit.
No, like we're gonna hang out. Like, you know what I mean? Like I want to bro down with just about anybody.
It's,
you know,
if you're a good person and you like what I like, and even if you don't, like.
But what if they just know the car and don't even know me? You know
exactly
what I mean?
that.
Yeah,
and that was where we came up with this concept where. You know, could we put the Subaru, and when I say Subaru, I mean Subaru powered Subarus.
Yes.
Right?
Subaru. Okay.
EJ,
I want everybody to hear the stipulation there.
Yeah.
This is
very clear
Subarus powered by Subarus.
Yeah.
By
right?
Subaru engines.
Subaru engines.
Okay.
And or we could say Toyota power plant for the GR.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But we know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Hopefully everyone knows what I'm saying. I don't want to
get
cooked.
Flat engines only.
Correct. I don't want to get cooked in the chat over nomenclature. But yeah. So like, you know, there's some stipulations on it. Not to say we wouldn't help anyone, but we want to create a community for our community as well. And get everyone pitted there.
Yes. Get us all together. We're all sharing resources.
Yeah.
We're all sharing. We can share data.
Yeah.
We can help each other. So this is one of the reasons that teams at Gridlife, like ASM or the Corvettes, I don't think ever named themselves.
Yeah, I don't.
But the Corvettes like shared a bunch of data. Right. They all had very similar cars. They're using very similar tires. Mm-hmm. And in this situation, it's going to be really similar also.
Yeah.
Get all of the Subarus in one spot. Mm-hmm. So then you can talk to these people.
Yeah.
You can share resources, data, tools, knowledge, you know, and
how do you get through turn 2? What do you do?
Yeah. I shit an axle boot, okay? And I keep shitting axle boots. Mm-hmm. How do I fix that? And then we can teach them the cool trick about using the straw in the axle boot. You know what I mean? This is, how do you learn that? Somebody's got to teach you.
Yeah, I don't just come out of the womb with that.
What if one guy's screwing around with this axle boot, but there's 10 people that are all Subaru guys all hanging out. They all just learn this, and now that spreads out.
It's that tribal knowledge.
It's a giant value add.
It is. And the big thing for us is, you know, let's be blunt, right? For us to be there has to be Subarus there.
Yeah.
And I'm a big believer, if you build it, they will come, right? So I'm not saying that that'll happen on day 1 or day 2 or event 3, 4, 5.
I get it, but they're there already.
They're there already. There's enough for us to look at this as a venture to take on.
Yes.
So our goal is how do we give to the industry, not take from it? Right.
Well, give the community.
Yeah.
Yep. How do you give to the community?
Yeah, the industry of that Gridlife car driving.
How do you give to the community and not take from it?
I'm not there. We talked about, I'm not there to bring, as much as this may sound a little convoluted, we kind of were talking about this, like my goal isn't to come there and sell parts.
No.
Now, there's some things that we may intrinsically bring that I can't give you a full set of Hawk, DTC 60s. No. But if you need them, we might have them. Right?
Exactly. But I actually might have some connections to where I might be able to have some pads for people in very common sizes. This is what I'm trying to, you and I, being able to use where we can team up, collective effort, because you know guys I don't, I know guys you don't. And then if we have a bunch of these things together, or we're bringing different people into the area, it's basically like having mini seminars.
Exactly.
With just hanging out.
And that's the biggest thing is for me, I think some of the best things that you learn at the track don't come from, like the morning meetings and all that.
No.
Hey, they come from, someone screaming underneath a car, yelling at you to get them another wrench or get them that hammer, and the nights around the fires,
Yes. You learn so much more from hot dog time after the track goes cold and everybody's chilling out. Yep. And then you really are going to learn in a meeting.
Exactly.
Nothing against
drivers' meetings or anything.
I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just saying you learn a lot, especially about your specific platform.
Correct. And I think that's important for anyone. So like that community aspect, creating an area where all of the Subaru powered Subarus.
Yes.
I know that's a weird.
But you have to say it.
I gotta say it now. Where we can all come together, be a part of a community, assist each other, bring back a part of the industry that ultimately has been shook a little bit, right?
Yeah.
It hasn't been that way for some years. I think a lot of people from the outside might look at IAG or Subimods and go, these guys have been doing this for so long. They're bigger now. They're not a part of the community. Like, no, like, fuck that. I'll just be blunt with that. Like,
yeah,
that's not what it is. That's not how we feel about it. And we are, committed to providing value. But at the same point, on the inside of that, we have to be able to get you guys there.
Yeah.
More drivers.
Yes.
Your friends, like.
But a lot of it is there are people who choose not to take a Subaru to the track.
Correct.
Because they don't know who they're going to talk to. So they try to go with what, they don't feel that it. What I'm trying to say is if you're new to going to the track, I would love for a Subaru to be, people start saying, dude, like if I get a Miata is always the answer, whatever. But honestly, especially because of like the Subimods dudes and the IAG dudes, and we're all over in one spot and they know they're going to, if you're going to a Gridlife event or one of these other events, because I'd love to see this concept trickle into other things.
Oh yeah.
But go buy a BRZ. Go buy a BRZ because they're going to help you out.
Yeah.
Like
you're going to have a fun day.
You will have a fun day, guaranteed. Even if you're having everything goes wrong, you're gonna have fun.
Yeah, and I think there's really cool, like, people see this at if you haven't been to a Gridlife, Race Treads and Falcon, depending on which one they're at.
Yeah,
do the tire services.
Yeah,
right. So you could just throw a set of rears in the back of the car.
Absolutely.
And there's gonna be a guy there.
Yep.
Who's going to do your dismount, remount, and balance, and get you back out on the track.
Hey, I'm going to let you know, always tip that guy.
100%.
Bring some cash and tip that guy.
Yeah. Whether it's in food, vouchers,
you
whatever
come up with some way to tip that dude.
Something, yeah. Because let me tell you, that's a rough
day for that guy. And that dude is that dude is saving your ass.
We were across from the Falcon booth, and I could not believe how many people, just lines, coming up to do tires. And
we used to do that to him all the time.
And I felt bad.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm like, dude, that's gotta suck.
That guy, yeah.
It's gotta suck.
I tell you what, though, I mean, if you were just
he looked like he was having fun, though.
He's probably getting paid decent to be there and do whatever. I'm sure
I could think of way worse days.
There could be way worse days. A bad day at the track is still a day at the track, okay?
I definitely love to be mounting tires at Laguna Seca.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Rather than in Midas.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Could be worse. But you're going to be able to come to the track. You're going to be able to get on the track. I mean, Gridlife makes it pretty affordable.
Honestly, it's funny when people talk about how crazy expensive Gridlife is because from a competition standpoint, it's not that bad.
No.
Now, I will say
costs.
that there are some cheaper tracks that maybe get elevated a little bit.
Agreed.
But I'm going to tell you, try to get on Road America any cheaper.
Correct.
It doesn't happen. It averages itself
out.
And
then talk about the weekend, right? Like
what you get out of that.
Correct. Like one of the things that Lock City, the course that the company that does the drift events we go to, does really well. They do the culture of the weekend.
Cool.
You show up on Friday night, you drive, you camp, you drive Saturday, you camp. It's a whole thing.
And it needs to be.
And that's what I like about Gridlife. Is it doesn't stop when the last session ends. People are always there. They're having fun. You're getting in the community. There's some big events where they've had some crazy people headline DJ sets. I know not everyone cares about that, but
but I mean, it was Deadmau5, man.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, this is sick. Like, this is a track day.
Yeah,
like. And what does it cost for just someone coming in to like an HED?
Just coming to hang out. Let's say we've got all the Subaru guys in one area, and you're not there to compete. You just want to hang out with Subaru guys. Yeah. Maybe learn some shit. Maybe you want to go next year.
Yeah, doors admission like $40.
Like daily at some of the bigger big music events are like $100 a day.
Yeah, like Laguna,
but if you buy your tickets, like get an early bird,
it was like 75.
It's something like that, but like it's like early bird. Yeah. I know Gridlife Midwest is like $100 a day.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you buy the 4-day Gridlife Midwest like Monster Pass, and it's like $300.
Yeah.
Worth every penny.
Every penny.
Dude, and you're camping there, you're hanging out, and that's what the vibe I've always wanted to have is like. It's always good to have more people around.
Yeah.
Okay. So the more community people, they're going to know where we're at. All the Subaru people are going to be in one spot.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to hang out, do Subaru stuff, Subaru track culture, it's all going to be in one spot. And you know, one of the things that really gets me excited is sharing data.
Yeah.
And I haven't had a chance to talk to you about this yet, but I want to have a conversation with the Fire Laps guys.
Yeah.
I think we might be able to do something really cool then.
Yeah.
I think we've got a sick collab concept that
Absolutely.
yeah. So like we're all going to be able to, you know, share data.
Yep.
The beauty of that is you're looking at extremely similar cars.
Yeah.
And then you can go, why is this dude who's in the exact same car I am going 10 mile an hour faster through this corner than I am? And then the other nice thing about it is you can go fucking ask him because he's right next to you.
And I think that's part of the thing that we want to create too is we want to incentivize competition, right?
Yes.
Because competition breeds success. I don't care what
Absolutely
I don't care who you are, what you say. I want to make it fun.
Yes.
But everyone wants to win.
The other nice thing about it too is, let's say we get this huge pile of people here. I've always been huge for Subarus to the top.
Yeah.
And celebrating, even if it's not your Subaru, another Subaru doing something.
Yeah.
So let's say 2 years ago, Mike Almick and I were in a dead heat.
Yeah.
To me, this is going to be like we're in the same team.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is, you know, if we're all parked next to each other,
Absolutely.
like we need to celebrate each other's victories. You know what I mean? And we need to be there to celebrate if, you know, Fez manages to stick his Club TR car with a Subaru engine, or Jeremy Bailey shoves that car up onto the podium. Your whole crew, all of us are there screaming for you.
Because that's the key point, and I think that gets lost a lot in the nature of competition, where if I don't win, but someone else that I know and is in my platform wins, I'm just as happy. I want to be up there.
But we have to be.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's unreal for how small the Subaru community is in all reality. How many of us are out there trying to compete?
Yeah.
So, like, we need to support each other.
Correct.
And we have an odd platform with odd needs. And, you know, there's weird shit and even weird tools and crazy shit that we need to do. We can all work together.
Yep.
And let's elevate the entire community at one time. Rick, who used to work here, you remember Rick, right? He had this saying all the time, rising tide raises all boats.
You know, it's funny. He had that in his email signature.
Yes.
Dude, if any one of the people that works with me is doing it, I say that every fucking day.
But it's the truth.
It's
It is the truth, dude. I've taken that so to heart, and this is a rising tide to me.
Well, so like even a simple one, and then I have one other idea that came to mind just now.
Yeah.
But so when a company will come to us and go, hey, Subimods, you know, we want you to sell our parts. We want you to be our sole distributor, exclusive. Right? No.
Yeah.
And they go, why? And I go, because then it's siloed.
Yeah.
Maybe someone doesn't want to work with me for whatever reason.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever it is. But a rising tide lifts all boats.
It does.
Right? So like, I wouldn't want to be the only one out there driving and racing.
Yeah.
In a Subaru. Because then
I've been the only guy. It's rough.
It's kind of shitty.
It sucks.
I am currently one of the only.
It's rough.
I'm one of the few that does the drifting. There's a few of us out there, but it's tough. You know, and there's no one to really talk to. You know, you're kind of like, all right, like fuck, like.
I'm not trying to interrupt you here,
Yeah,
but I hear a thing in the back starting right now. I just want to let you guys know you may hear some boogie noise.
It's already coming.
We may or may not be testing a thing for Garrett that I can't tell you exactly what it is. But it's cool stuff, and it's gonna make some noise. So
it's coming right through that hole in the ceiling.
Yeah, probably.
Sure.
So it may become a part of the podcast here soon.
We're gonna just turn the inputs down for a second, or up.
Let him rip, dude.
Up.
I'm waiting for the chat if he makes a poll.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. I'm just gonna shut up too.
Yeah, feel free to guess all you want. Yeah, if it gets nice and loud, we're just gonna let it rip.
Yeah. But the thing I was saying is like, for example, like Company 23, right?
Yeah.
They make very specific Subaru tools. Why is it not possible for us to leverage our relationship with them and go, hey, listen, we're doing this, you know, this partnership with Gridlife in our trailer that's going to be present at every event. I want every tool.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is.
Whatever. Just let's have them all.
Let's have them all.
What a better way to show them off. Now, here's a beautiful thing about that. You know, they're right down the road from Road America.
Yeah.
I mean, then come out. And not only that, like, you know, I don't know if we've talked about it too much, but I've already announced you guys are you're a sponsoring partner with them this year, so it's huge.
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah, so like you guys are bring them in.
Me and Valvoline.
Yeah.
Hopefully Mike will hear that. But no, yeah.
But
we're on the list.
I'm just saying, bringing them in.
Yeah.
As a part of the crew or whatever, what a better way to show off the product.
That's a credit to Michael and his team. Michael has really helped us with this concept of, again, similar to Rick's idea, right? Rising Tide lifts all boats, where some other events are very strict about, all right, hey, we can't have you have other brands activating in your booth and things like that.
Yeah.
Michael wants that.
Yes,
he wants that.
Oh no, you are not going to get that from any of the Gridlife community.
That was really cool. Where he was like, we asked him some stuff, and he's like,
do that,
and like
more of that.
That was it.
But you got to look at it from their point of view, and this is why Gridlife works, and other organizations are bombing.
Yeah.
Okay, because Gridlife's going, it's cool. The people are going to come, this is a value add to people who are not only purchasing tickets, but people who are just showing up.
Yeah.
Like if you got Company 23 there with every damn tool, and we've got a heap of Subarus there, they're going to buy more tickets. You know what I mean?
Well, and like I think it's like one of those things where, and I that's an idea that literally just came out of my head this moment. But you think about it, and it's like there are some specific Subaru tools that, if God forbid, like I lose a belt or something, and I'm gonna try to get like real crazy and pull a motor and do something wild, I want every tool possible.
I want all the shit there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it like, I might be doing the work and I can do 90% of it, but how nice would it be to have a couple of dudes who have done some shit at least just check in every once in a while and go, hey man, you might want to disconnect that before you yank that motor. We're going to have a bad day,
And like, again, that's the kind of half-cocked idea, but that's what we want to provide.
Yeah, I don't think this is half-cocked as you think because of the way our community works.
No.
And all we're doing is organizing the chaos.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
And
again, I can't stress enough how much I love this.
Yeah, and the thing is like, some
much.
other companies might be like, well, we're going to have to charge them if they take the tool. Like, no.
Why would you do, not only that, let them use it once. They're going to want it.
Yeah.
Let somebody else see them using it. What better advertisement is there than that?
Why would we, this isn't AutoZone.
No.
Like, dude, like, yeah, man, use it. Have a great time. Like, bring it back to me at the end of the day.
Exactly.
If you walk away with it and forget it,
I
don't give a fuck.
I'll hit you up. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Whatever.
You
can. I'm going to see you at the next event.
Yeah. It's like, and worst case, it's Company 23, so it's like roll pin tool.
Like,
fuck, I need another one. Shit.
We'll figure it out.
End of the world. But no, I mean, that's a little bit of what we're looking for and what we're looking to do. And I mean, we haven't talked, about the driving aspect, what you saw in some of the videos.
Yeah.
We want to be involved in the driving. While I don't think we'll be competing this year.
Okay.
I think we'll be parading.
Okay.
That's my term.
Okay,
this year.
So let me put it this way: you don't expect to be competitive, but are you going to be doing the thing?
We will be driving.
Okay, so you'll be doing the thing.
Yeah.
You just
be more on the HPD style side of it, right?
Okay.
We're probably not going to be in competition classes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they do not have HPD anymore.
Yeah, I know. So it's like that's why I mean parading in the sense of there may be some sessions in certain events where we're like, all right, go. Yeah. Shake the car down a little bit.
Go rip around a little bit.
Yeah, you got 15 minutes. Have fun.
Yeah.
Because for us, this new STI we're building with the help of EFI Performance in Bethel, the help they are doing it. I am just I'm just the one that screws up the timeline of the project by having other wants and other stupid, injections of things. But we are looking to shake it down this year. It's a big car. Like we've talked about. It's got a lot of weight to it, and
she's a big girl.
There's not much to cut out.
It's a little different.
It's a big
dancing
car.
with a fat girl, okay?
And we've tried to put her on the treadmill, and the cage adds weight. We're building it to certain Gridlife specs, trying to at least to keep it.
See what it does.
Keep it under control. But yeah, I mean, it's a shakedown year for us.
Do you need a shakedown driver?
I mean, we got one of my guys. Chuck is a great driver, but we are 100% willing to shake shit now.
I'm just saying.
If he's listening to this, he's gnawing at the computer screen right now on this one because he's been waiting for this. He's been a big proponent of us doing this. This has been a 2-year evolution, and it's coming.
The way you guys have been teasing it's great.
We're putting a lot of effort into it.
It looks good. Like I got hyped about it. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is sick.
You know, EFI, to their credit, that's what they do.
Yeah,
they build race cars.
Yeah.
And they were really, 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 really good with this idea where they were like, all right, look, we're gonna do what needs to be first. Full cage, fuel cell. You know, do it the right way. Tub it in. Do everything that needs to happen. Safety, security, and I guess you could say health wise. And then really look at, hey, how's the car gonna build boost? What are we doing for power? What are we doing for alignment, tire, body stuff? Right. All those questions that I guess a lot of people don't think of before you go into it. And then the bills just start coming and you're like, oh, I was lucky enough to know that this was going to be a huge endeavor right before we started, because they basically said, all right, hey, this isn't free.
Yeah, you are aware what's happening here. You're like, I get it. I get it.
Exactly. So there's that side of it.
You know how, like a shop, and I'm sure you've been a part of this, but you know, being somebody who has worked at a shop before, and somebody comes in with these huge dreams, and then you have to turn around and like hit them with the reality of what this is going to cost. And for them
whether you hit them right in the face with the bat or you titrate it, it's either way it sucks.
So the best way to always do it is just hit them in the face. Yeah. Okay, but like when you hit them in the face and then they turn around and go, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. And you're just like, oh, thank God.
I bet that's what it was like for them because, you know, I mean, they went far. I mean, they jacked their tech there. Their lead guy went in and, I mean, he was clipping pieces out of the roof, trying to take whatever he could out to save weight.
Yeah.
Lexand everything, you know, I mean, fire suppression. What we could do, we did. You know, I don't know how competitive it'll be even when it gets competitive, because as we've talked about, it's a really...
She's a big girl, but you know, the more I've looked at what you guys are trying to do and what you're trying to do it in in conversations with people who know what the hell they're talking about, James Houghton was had a really good conversation off of our other podcast about it a little bit. I don't think you guys are as far off as you think you are.
I don't.
No, I will say there's going to be hurdles. Some tracks that you guys, the weight's going to be a problem. Yeah. Like a perfect example is unfortunately the one that will be closest to you guys will be Lime Rock. Yeah. That's going to be a rough one.
Yeah. And that's actually, I hope, Chuck's strong suit. That's his track.
Yeah, well, so it's like a driver can make up for a lot of stuff.
But it's
like
a tough track.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing for us too was, you know, we also, the original saga of the project became, we wanted someone to be able to look at it and be able to go, okay, I could do this if I wanted to.
Yes. Well, that's the whole thing about this, man. It's one of the reasons that I stay in street modified.
Yes.
Okay. It's because you can look at that car. You can look at Boogie. Don't get me wrong. It's a hacked up GC. There's a lot done. But you can look at that and kind of squint a little bit and go, I could build that in my garage.
Well, that's like, I say the domino effect, right? When you flick a domino at the end and you can watch it make a whole pattern and it drops at an end point and then it makes a nice picture.
Yes.
I need to make the customers see that whole trail.
Yes.
I can't have them flick the first domino and then it's at the end and then they go, well, how the fuck?
How did that even happen?
How did that get to there? Right? So like, I know that's a very simplistic analogy to the very, hard process,
but if you think about it, like there is a lot of people who are like, I'm just like, I get it all the time. They call me and think they buy a IAG 950 and they have 950 horsepower. There's nothing in between.
Correct. Yeah,
there's so much in between.
Yes, there's more in between than that.
And the more educated your consumer is,
correct,
the better their experience is going to be, the better your experience is going to be, and then the better the experience of the next person who comes through is going to be because they can see that.
It's show and prove, right?
Yes.
And so yeah, I mean, as much as we want the car to, this is where we get into the safety aspect, right?
Yep.
As much as we want the car to be able to see that domino effect, there are things that we have to do that probably aren't attainable to every individual. Right? Yeah. A strong cage.
Yeah.
Like, this is your life.
It really is. And it's money that people probably don't think they should spend, but they absolutely should.
I think we were 10 grand in ours.
That's about right, man.
Like 10 grand. Now, granted, did we have him paint it?
Sure. You're going to make it nice.
Yeah, maybe we didn't need that.
Boogie's cage new would have been 8 grand.
So it's not off, right?
No, it's absolutely not. You had a bigger car.
And and I was 10 grand with, bucketing in the trunk for the fuel cell and everything.
Yep.
With that included. So, right there, fire suppression system. What are you looking at with that? 2,500 around there?
Yeah, it can be.
It can be, depending on how crazy you get.
Depending on how crazy you get.
And the material. You can probably knock a cheap one out for 1,000 to 1,500.
It doesn't mean you should.
It doesn't mean you should.
You're talking about burning to death.
and you're also talking about the difference between, let's be honest, these cars aren't, I don't know what your situation is or any other driver on the grid, but cars aren't insured.
No. So most of the time they're not.
Most of the time they're not. Maybe the Ford GT race car that was going around at Laguna had track day insurance.
You got some guys who I got a buddy who actually did okay when he crashed his BRZ because he was smart enough to get track day insurance. Okay. Track day insurance is a good idea.
But are you not going to drive if you don't have track day insurance?
Yeah, that's
I'm
just
still driving.
I'm still driving. And not only that, the way I look at Boogie is I know I can replace that chassis.
Well, someone said that to me.
I added it up, and I'm like...
someone said that to me about track day insurance. They were like, if your policy gets denied on Friday, are you going to drive Saturday? I was like, roger that. Yeah. I'm still driving. Hell yeah.
You could bet I'll be in that driver's meeting.
Hell yeah, I ain't worried about that.
No.
I'll worry about that Monday. So that side of it. So you're talking about the difference in a fire suppression system between losing your entire investment and losing... Example, James Dean in Formula Drift, his car caught on fire right in one of the pre-warm-up sessions that they were doing. Granted, the car didn't, I don't know what fire, if they had any fire suppression, I assume they did because somehow the car didn't burn, but they had track marshals that put it out fast. So I call that a fire suppression system in a way.
I wouldn't do that. I got safety Mike is in the chat going.
They were quick to react.
Yeah.
But, hypothetically, right?
You know where they weren't quick to react? I'm just saying, fast car, come over, start finish line at Laguna, come off the turn 1. Things just sitting there cooking. They're taking their sweet ass time. I'm yanking the fire suppression the best I can, but I didn't know how to use it correctly.
But I don't hold that against you because how do you know?
You don't know. And I should have learned. Now I know. Dude, I will fucking put my foot on the dash and yank until the goddamn cable comes out.
I'm ripping the dash
off. I'm ripping the dash off. And next time I would have, but we lost every piece of wiring in there. And I don't think people understand how much of a total loss Boogie was from that.
No, that's it. That's what I mean.
And they took their sweet ass time getting there.
So what I mean to say too, and what you just point out is that even in the best case scenario with everything in play, one hinge can fall and it can fuck up everything.
Yes.
So you have to be an expert in your craft when it comes to planning, using it. And then what we were talking about at lunch, Ben, the owner of EFI, I make a joke and I say safety's always second.
Yeah.
Because,
Mike is still in the check.
I know, he's fuming. He's going to fume at that one. And Ben gets mad every time I say it. And I really only say it to make him mad. But I joke about it in a sense that and I say safety is always second because people think like that.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the helmet situation, right? I wear a race quip, I think it's the Pro 2000. It's one of the bigger ones. And we were in the car. We were doing Ben was fitting me for a seat and we were doing the steering wheel. And he goes, get out of the car with the door closed. And I'm like, okay. No, I go to take the helmet off.
Yeah.
No, you're not getting the helmet off. The car's on fire. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go out the window. Well, if anyone who's driving a BRZ, a Gen 2 or a Gen 1 in this chat knows, Halo, even with a quick release,
good luck.
Anywhere near, even I'm 5'9", 200 on a good day.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, it isn't like he's a giant man.
No, I'm 5'9", 200 on my best day right now on a good diet day, and that's not today. I'm not getting out of this car. My head with the helmet on does not fit through the window crease. So what am I doing?
What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Right? That was the question, right? Hypothetically, that car's on fire.
Yeah.
My feet are burning. I'm gloved up.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone knows this. Like, you know, it's not sometimes easy to get racing gloves off.
Yeah, and you also have to ask, does it pulling a racing glove off make any sense if your car is on fire?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And now I'm worrying about my hand. I don't know if anyone's been driven past a car fire. I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
Fucking hot.
It's hot.
It's pretty hot.
Yeah, it's a fire.
Yeah, by design. I think it was engineered that way by the big man. And are you gonna take your gloves off?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Fuck no, I wouldn't.
Can you get your helmet off with your gloves on?
You should try these things.
You should try these things.
The guy at EFI Logic was smart by saying that.
But I don't know. I could not get my helmet off. I couldn't unget the tether off.
But let's loop back
to,
let's say we're all in a big community there. Okay.
That's the day.
That's the part of, you know, I have this fire suppression system.
Yeah.
I didn't know enough about it to know yank that thing until you pull the fucking wire out.
Someone did though,
Somebody did, but who the fuck am I supposed to, you know, but if we were in a big circle and we're talking about this shit, this can be us old heads. Yeah. Can be walking around chatting with some of these guys about this. Look, man, if this car's on fire, shit happens. You crash in the wall, this thing lights on fire, some shit. I'm going to tell you right now, you pull that thing like your life depends on it.
Yeah,
you don't try to be nice to it.
No.
You yank that thing until you break it. That is a super cheap thing to replace if it breaks.
Yeah. And if you, God forbid, you rip it out and it doesn't do shit,
at least
you gave it everything you had.
You did your job.
And you bring me the handle back.
So I lost a lot of boogie.
Yeah.
Because I didn't pull that thing enough.
Yeah.
I didn't know. You know, or in your situation, you probably would have went out and did some shit. Let's say you're out drifting.
Yeah.
And then you get smashed in between two cars. You have to go out the window.
What do you do?
You can't. There you sit.
And that was like and I've seen some things happen with like, you know, like you get to these points where mistakes happen, and this is natural. If you are in this group and you think you are invincible, you're not. You're not.
Life is so fragile, and all of this is so fragile.
Not a matter of if, a matter of when.
Exactly.
And, you know, for me, that was a sobering moment where, like I told you, like we had a bit of a situation where I had to, and I'm not going to speak a ton about the reasons behind it just being political with what happened, but had a situation where I had to get out of the car fast.
Yeah.
I'm being we've talked about it offside.
Yes.
There's some behind it. So had to get out of the car fast. I was in a panic. And you know, things were happening fast. You know, cars were driving by me.
Yeah,
my car's
there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, my car is not moving.
This is an open drift session. It's crazy.
This is me opening a door onto a track that's hot.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to yellow flag it.
But
they're
still,
red
these
flag
guys coming in sideways.
But yeah, I mean, let's say I know no one can see me, but we have a corner here. Flagger is up here on the top of the apex.
Sure.
And I'm down here at the bottom of the track, and someone's coming next to me. He's not seeing that flagger waving red.
Not only that, let's say it's some like, you know, this is some kid's first drift session. He doesn't know.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
He doesn't know. He barely can control the damn car. He ain't looking at flaggers.
He ain't looking, and he ain't looking at me.
No. He's trying to keep his car from not smashing into shit.
So, you know, I had to get out of the car. And this is where I talk about you have to talk to people who are in the space. So Odie Bacchus, for example, the pro drifter, he told me, he made a comment before the SMF track day where he goes, oh, you don't use SFI quick releases? And I laughed at him. And I was like, no, it's a quick release, dude.
Why would I need that?
You know, and he made a joke and he said, all right, we'll take the springs out of the quick release. So that button you depress is normally spring loaded.
Yeah.
So when you have to press that quick release, you got to depress it, pull the quick release.
Yeah, it's a
process.
Yeah, you got to
control it. It's a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
And we made a joke about it and we laughed and we moved on because, you know, whatever. I'm
sure in his brain he's going,
yeah,
and you're like, this guy.
And what I didn't know is like probably a couple weekends before that at an event, his car had caught on fire.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's talking to me and I'm like, yeah, whatever. And in this situation that happened, I fumbled. I could not get my glove hand to depress the button on the it's pinching because the glove, like a sparkle glove, it's pinching the hole. I'm trying to get the quick release off. I can't get the fuck out of the car because I got the steering wheel.
The steering wheel's in your chest,
you know, which that was another issue. We should have never had a wheel in that deep of a position. But again,
this is how you learn.
Are you not going to drive because your steering wheel is in the wrong position? drive. So I couldn't get the wheel off. You don't even think about this. You know, a quick release is so easy to release.
Yeah.
It's so easy, but when everything else around you is burning down, you are literally, your mind is so just hyper locked on this one thing. Get the quick release off, get the quick release off, get the quick release off. And I couldn't do it. And granted, nothing ended up happening. It was all good. It was all fun. But it changed my whole direction with the cars, where I said, all right, I need to prepare for this like this can happen.
Yeah.
Because it did, and it can. So now when you look at our cars, right, our Gen 1, the really well-prepped car, fully caged, fully fire suppression, harnesses, people look at this, a simple one that I see a lot. Harness inside your tunnel belt.
Yeah.
To the seat rail.
Yeah.
Right? That's what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Like on the street, and
sure,
it's just a natural thing, right? Because you're like, oh, well, I'll just take the seat belt factory position bracket off, and I'll just put a bolt through that.
Yeah.
That's my lap belt.
Yeah.
You hit a wall.
Yeah.
What happens if that Sparko, no, nothing against Sparko. I'm sure their quality standards are fine, but what happens if that cracks?
Yep.
You have a 4-point. That's not even enough.
It's not designed for that.
Not designed for that. So God forbid you don't slip out from under it.
Yep.
If that breaks, you just lost 25% of your security to that seat.
You know what would be a really good time? So we get the whole pile together, right? Safety Mike just brought something up. I think this would be fucking hilarious to video this. Okay, this is content. All right. We get a bunch of people in our Subaru compound, whatever the fuck we're going to call it, the Subimods Hacienda, whatever. Okay, and
just light someone's car on fire.
We do.
Make them get out.
Yeah, we just run around lighting cars on fire. No, we videotape them getting out of their car blindfolded.
Yeah.
How great would that be? Like, people totally strapped in. We got to wait till they get a few in them, though, because it's going to be hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I mean, I thought when we were talking, I said, even that simple thing where and what's funny about that is that was something Ben and Jack at EFI brought up to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even going to claim to own that knowledge, because when I brought the car there, they're like, why the did you mount the harness point to the fucking seat base?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you guys yelling at me for? Like, you know, like, I wasn't going to put harnesses in anyway. I was going to go out there in a factory seatbelt. Like, you know, like, come on, dude, you know, like, and they're like, to the tunnel, plated.
Yes.
Like, that is the only way it's done.
Yeah.
You do it that way. And it's like, okay.
Yes.
Okay. I get it. Like, now I see it, because, like I said,
it needs to be explained.
It needs to be explained. You need to, you can't, safety in racing, there's a reason that ultimately some of the worst accidents that happen in amateur racing, right? Like what we're doing and or you're doing and I'm doing, and can kill people.
It absolutely can. And the unfortunate reality is a lot of these things, like to the tunnel plated, the reason it's to the tunnel plated is because somebody got in a nasty accident, is probably paralyzed or dead or whatever. That's how they found out about that.
We have to go to work Monday. That's what scared me.
Yeah.
That's what scared me, was when I crashed our Gen 2.
Yeah.
And I lost it. It didn't have a diff. It snapped on me, and I snapped it into the wall. And I thought about it, and I was like, dude, if it had been a worse case where because it snapped up, it went low, it went high, and then it went up, straight up a bowl, right? And it sucked me right up into the wall. Yeah. But the alternative to that was into the infield on wet grass, into the Thompson Bowl, into a cement pylon. Yeah. At 50.
Yeah, you're I
don't care.
You're at a minimum, you're going to the hospital.
At a minimum, Monday's fucked.
Yes. at a very minimum.
So, and that's where I think it's really important. And I think we can be a voice to these newer drivers coming up to say, all right, guys, hey, you know, I know this is going to sound a little adulty, but has anyone who's driving here for the first time? Show of hands. 3 of you? All right, cool. Now everyone's going to do this, because I don't care if you've driven 100 times or 10.
The beauty of this is if you're hanging out with the right people, you can make it entertaining too.
Yes.
You know, like, I really like the idea of, like, half drunk, blindfolded, get out of your car.
Yeah.
Like,
but I want to see it.
Yeah,
I want to see it.
And it's going to be great video.
And I want to see the guy who shows up once.
Yes.
Get out of your car. And I want to see him smash his helmet in between the seat and be like, I can't get out.
No shit. Now let's talk about this.
Well, yeah. Or like, you know, like, because for what they did to me, that was really interesting. And then we'll move off of this because I know we're coming up on time. But they were like, the clock doesn't stop, man. Right?
Yeah.
If we're training that person and they go, oh, my helmet doesn't fit through the window. Car's on fire, dog.
Yeah.
You're still burning.
Yeah, you're still gonna burn. I can't hit pause on that.
You just wasted 15 seconds asking me what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're gonna stick your head out the window and scream at the marshal and be like, my helmet doesn't fit through the window. Like, figure it out.
Yeah.
So, that, I know we went on a...
No, but I think that was good. I think that was a great tangent there.
It's part of what we're gonna do.
Yes.
This year, is provide information, be a
provide
resource.
Information and make a community.
And I want to learn too, because we're doing, you know.
No matter what, we're just kids doing stupid shit who happen to, like, I've been doing it a little longer than everybody, but I learn new shit every single day.
I fully hope that we can bring another spectrum to it. We didn't talk about the drift cars, but that we did the last time. Those will be at Gridlife. We'll be doing that. I fully expect to be able to give people ride-alongs. I fully expect if you're...
I got some really amazing stuff to talk about off air.
Yes.
But I have, if this goes the way I think, I have a feeling we're going to be able to add some really interesting individuals.
I'm ready. And I it's almost like, it's like too, if you can drive and you want to go out on the Gridlife kind of skid pad they're doing, come find me. We'll have some fun, you know, like... My cars are...
Read the bottom. Don't say it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
big stuff going on with that.
Yeah, he can drive.
He knows a thing or two about driving.
So
and he's been in some shit.
So it's like, if there's people like you or that or whatever it is where they're like, hey, man, I've never been in a drift car before, but, you know, like, take me out for a couple runs. Let me see if I get a handle on it, right? We did that with Bucky at the SMF track day.
Yeah.
We literally, he's like, you know, oh, I want to go out for a ride. I'm like, better. Drive.
Yeah.
And he's like, really?
Yeah.
You'll be fine, dude. Like, the car's fine. Don't worry. That thing's been burning oil for the last 6 months.
Gridlife also does this thing with the what the fuck do they call that? The taxi sessions.
Drift taxi.
Well, and not just drift taxi, but like the taxi sessions. They do that. They're open, so time attack cars go out and chase.
That's what I was referring to.
Yeah, but like we can set stuff up with the community. Shoving people in the cars.
So my driving skill is, I'm not sure at that level for the full road course. I hope to be at that level
but
in a few.
Don't lie, you wouldn't mind sitting in the passenger seat, getting the shit scared out of you as I try to shove the nose of Boogie under a fucking drift car.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We want our cars. We did that at a low level at the SMF track day. So Devin was there. Bucky was driving our car.
Sure.
We had a couple guys piloting our BRZs. And the people loved it.
Oh, dude, they eat that shit up.
And the only complaint we had that day was, oh, there's not enough time. Like, I didn't get to go.
That is some life-altering shit, too. You want to create enthusiasts? You want to create somebody? You want to create a customer who wants to buy some shit? Take them for a lap in Boogie. And they're like, I need this in my life. Take them for a lap in a Drift BRZ.
Yeah.
You know, sending the living shit out of that thing, having a great time. Yeah. Show them that is the end result.
Yep.
You can do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe it's not, and this is the big thing I've always said, maybe it's not at that level, right? Because to get to that level where you're, you know, drifting Laguna.
Yeah, by all means. But if you even get a taste like that,
you can go there. California is full of weekend drift events.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to space on the track that's there. It's a really iconic kind of track that's always open, and I think it's SoCal area. And I think they do Thursday night, $50 a night.
Yeah.
To be out there. And it's
probably like Willow or something like that.
It's something that it was something else, and now it's basically drift.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna space on it, of course.
Okay.
But the big thing is like, you watch these videos, and to drift a BRZ, yeah, you probably should have a diff in it. You probably should have a little bit of angle just because it makes it a little easier. But don't get it twisted. You can go out there stock.
But that's just it. You know what would be really sick?
Yeah.
You know, we have different levels of vehicles. Okay, you've got the pro car, but then you got a not very pro car,
Correct.
that you also take the good driver and stick somebody in the passenger seat and go show them what the base car can do. You know what I mean?
And that's actually, to your point, that's exactly how we set up our field this year. So our Gen 1 is pro car.
Yeah.
It's caged. It's
ready to party.
It's got a bunch of shit done that a normal average drift enthusiast wouldn't do. Rack relocation, adjustments, shit like that. But our Gen 2, it's turboed, angle kit, diff, and some rear suspension work.
Yeah.
Everything you can buy on my site.
Easy shit.
Is there. I mean, granted, it's expensive.
It is, but you can you can show what that is. What I'd really like to see is one even less than that. I want the bare minimum. Okay, I want Prius tires.
Oh yeah,
I want
stock diff.
I want a stock, and I want to see that.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of what I wish other events did too was capture that, right?
Well, Gridlife can.
And I think that, granted, I've probably invested another stock BRZ into the build for the one, so that's kind of out. But when we go to these events, like the amount of guys that are out there, and there's a couple kids that are just sending these cars, even better drivers than I am. And I'm like, you got a diff in that thing? They're like, no.
Well, I ain't got money for that.
And they're like, yeah,
I can barely afford tires and the gas to get here, dude.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, to your point, I think it would be interesting to see someone be able to show up. I would really love to see.
But the way to do that is, again, all the Subarus in one spot. We can literally pluck that dude out of the community. Look, you're part of this crew now. Yeah.
And I would love to see someone be able to show how multi-purpose those cars are, because with just a simple tire swap, you can do both.
But you absolutely can.
Just a simple tire
I may
swap.
or may not have the right car for that.
And that's the funny thing about it is like you're just talking about a good grippy set of 4 tires and just that same grippy set up front and just some shit ones out back.
I have the right car for this.
Do it.
We'll just use my BRZ.
That's what I'm saying.
And we'll have a great time.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll stick your drifty boy in that thing and send the shit out of it.
I will more. We could change cars for an
hour.
hour.
We'll have a great time.
I'd
loan that car to everybody to go beat the snot out of them. So.
And that's why I do it with that car. With our cars, is I'm very like, look, if you can drive, you're not gonna hurt.
It's a
these
tool.
Cars.
You know what it is.
Yeah, you know how to use a drill.
Yes.
You're not going to drill in to the cement.
Yes.
With a with a wood drill bit, right? Like it's not going to happen. So I think that's part of it.
To tell you how much I just loaned that car out. Executive producer Jordan has bought a gold pass, but he doesn't think his car is going to be done. I'm just loaning him the car, so it'll be at all these events anyway. And if we blow it up, yay! We're putting in FA24.
It's not going to blow up, dude. I'm going to tell you, those things are for all the complaints, and I know we're coming up on time, but
there ain't no such thing as time.
For the complaints that these people have for these FAs, dude,
they're solid if you do it right.
Oh no, even if you do it wrong.
They're solid if you do it wrong. But
our FA, the one out of that car, was tuned on ethanol. Injectors were clogged. It was just a shit show. Cam correlation codes.
Okay.
So we had to turn off turned off basically AVCS.
Okay.
So it's basically just boosted.
So it's awful.
It's horrible. Yeah. No power. It's a dog. Oil pressure. I saw one day, no oil cooler. So you learn things about these cars because you never drive them that hard on the street, right? And you never really, even me being in the industry, if you haven't been on the track before in an FA, you don't realize that oil temps in those cars, they're not EJ, these things can go to the moon. And you're looking at it like, oh man, that gauge says 280? Is that, what do you mean?
It's not what you should do.
Not what you should do at all.
But
I'm not going to lie and say that I haven't seen closer to 300 than 200 and closer to 0 oil pressure than 5.
Arthur, let me answer that question for you. Physically, it's extraordinarily easy to put an FA24 into a Gen 1. There's some electronic shenanigans, but if we're talking a drift car or whatever, and you're in a position to where you can put a Link G4X, it is really easy.
It's almost no much. It's the only thing that's harder is the cost.
Yeah. Really? Well, they're actually coming down too. I saw a full FA24 swap with trans the other day, $3,500.
People are totaling them.
Oh yeah,
people are totally. Yep. Yeah, people are smoking them.
$3,500, and I just did not have the cash at that point. So
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I was like looking for spare packages for these cars.
Yeah,
because that's been something Ben's been pushing on us. It's like, hey, dude, you gotta have axles. What happens if you have a transmission?
And this is the same thing that like we're trying to do the same thing, but
hard.
Not only that, I want to try to build spares. So like we got guys who come out and we can help them out too. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But like looking at like you can buy BRZ trainings.
For not $300,
literally. Like,
yeah, $300,
like $500.
Yeah,
on eBay.
No, I literally bought them at $300.
Someone had a pallet of 5 for $2,000,
dude.
I was like, dude, I'm about to just buy that, stick it at the trailer.
Well,
like,
yeah, I'm not even unpackaging it.
No, like I don't care if I put one in and it doesn't even go into first gear. I'll just throw it out right in the dumpster.
Yeah, whatever. Well, we tried.
Yeah, literally. You know, so like, absolutely, man. I think that's ultimately what I believe to be our path forward with this, is to have fun with it, enjoy the cars, you know, move forward with you know, making Subaru more inclusive. The last thing, you know, I want kind of, you know, to hear your opinion and even the group's opinion on, we talked about getting more people to the track.
Yes.
More Subarus.
Sure.
It's expensive.
It is.
There's no lie about it. You can't, you know, look at the price of tires today.
Dude, it's rough.
It's rough. It's
rough.
It can
and even if you do good,
it's rough.
There ain't nothing at the end.
There's no FYI. Yep. There's no pot of gold
at the end. I'm telling you,
there's a $45 hand-cooked coupon.
When you win, no, there ain't even that half the time. There's a $25 plastic trophy and high fives.
I was really betting on that $50 hand.
Good luck. Coupon. Yeah, you don't even get a fucking especially at Gridlife, you don't even get a fucking
you don't even get a sticker.
Yeah, you get a Wendy's fucking gift card that doesn't even exist. Jesus. Like there's nothing there. You get a plastic trophy and high fives.
So for us, that was where we looked, right? We said, okay, how do we make something where there actually is some value monetary?
Yeah.
And how do we make it fair? Yep. Because it needs to be fair to where, you know, someone who goes to 5 Gridlifes doesn't have a better chance of winning than someone who goes to the 1 for their first one.
Yes.
As much as everyone may seem a little convoluted, we're not talking about a points prize or a constructors championship, right? Or something like that. We're talking about, hey, if you drive a Gridlife event, right, and you're Subaru powered Subaru, there is a chance that you could end up with a good prize at the end of the year, a good cash prize.
Yep. Something
that not only definitely paid for your day, but bought you some upgrades that you learned you needed from that day. And then some, maybe. So we're talking, I mean, I can't, you know, give numbers, but it's not going to be, you know, I'm not saying I'm going to give $10,000 away or something like that, but there's a good number at the, there's a bit more of a pot of gold than there's no Wendy's gift card.
There is a value add that's more than a Wendy's gift card.
There's more than a Wendy's gift card.
That if you're doing some shit.
And for us, it's cash.
Yeah.
We don't want to give it away in a gift card.
Yeah.
For us, like it's cash.
Because they need gas.
Yeah.
Tires,
you know. You may not need anything from me right then and there. You may have a life event that you needed the money for, whatever it is. Yeah. That's not my point to care what that is.
Yes.
But we're talking about kind of the Subimods Cup, and my thought, as we've talked about, just some ideas off the bat, were very simple. Anyone who drives a Subaru-powered Subaru at any Gridlife event receives 1 entry.
Yep.
Entries don't stack.
Yep.
Right? You could do 7 events, still 1 entry.
Yep.
At the end of the year, at the last Gridlife event, which is that Pit?
Pit race.
Pit race. Yep. We would announce that, right? That person doesn't have to be present. They could, because they could be all around the US.
Yeah.
And that person,
you know, what if they were at Laguna?
Exactly. And that person would end up with a monetary prize. What we would ask, you'd be running a sticker for that day, which would we would have that available at all those tracks.
Yeah.
So you throw that on.
That's how contingencies work anyway. Standard contingency stuff where you need to be running a sticker. It makes sense.
You need to be running a sticker. You need to be, you know.
And this is for Subaru powered Subarus.
Yes, this is not for you know, RB powered Subarus.
Yes.
This is not for I don't know, whatever else people are putting in them nowadays. You can pretty much put anything in one of them. But yeah, this is Subaru powered Subarus, and our goal is to you know,
I want to throw this out here too. Not that I don't love this idea, but So we all know that this is not rigged in any way. I have pulled my name out of this. Okay.
Yes, you did say
yeah,
that.
I have pulled. I
Was...
want to make sure somebody in the community wins this, whatever it is, because I just think it's great for the community. And
it is.
Personally, I hope it's some dude who did 1 or 2.
That.
I hope it's somebody who just like they went out there and gave it the college try. Yep. You know what I mean?
As much as I would love it to be someone who I know is going to reinvest it.
Yeah.
I have to believe in the idea.
Yes.
That the person who wins it, no matter what, invested in the idea.
Yes.
And that's kind of what my thought is with it. But at the end of the day, that's where, the community comes in. If you guys have a different idea or a supplemental idea to this idea, bring it to us, email me, talk to Dewey,
We'll we're going to be talking a lot about this concept probably over this whole year.
It's going to be. And it's going to evolve, too.
You and I are going to probably do 3 more podcasts before the end of the year. I'm telling you.
And we're probably, the crazy thing is I said this to my team, too. I said, what we do at, CMP for the first event, right? That's the first one.
Yes.
It's not going to be the same as what we do.
No, you're going to learn every event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you may be interacting with us, and if there's something that you don't like and you meet us and you think, hey, you guys could be doing this, please just tell us.
Yeah.
We're humans. I'm not going to look at you and be like, well, what, you don't like my, and storm off. Like,
yeah,
no,
let's hear it.
If there's something we did wrong and it's shit, I need to know.
Exactly.
That's
and that's how,
problem.
that's just going to help the community overall.
Yes. And there's no need to just prop us up.
We would really like to know what you guys' thoughts are. And in the comments for this podcast, I'd really like to hear what you guys would like to see for a track-oriented community, Subaru-based community thing.
Yes.
What would you like to see at the track? What do you want to see? What do you think is missing? What could our companies bring to the table and really just prop this up? We want to hear from you guys. And this is also even people who maybe aren't there driving, or maybe something that would entice you to drive.
Right.
I want to hear from all walks. Maybe somebody who doesn't even care about the concept, but like,
give me an idea. Yeah,
let's hear it. Like, we want to hear what you think about this, because I cannot even explain how excited I am about this, because I've been trying to do this for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
2 different bosses, all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
You came out and you're just like, we're doing this. And I'm like, I love you, man.
That's how I do it. But that's the big point. We want the ideas, right? Like, it's like, give me 20 ideas like a day. I'll find one of them at least that's valuable.
Dude, so we're the wall, throw shit at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Semper Fi, I'm on it. But that's my point. Right?
What's the name of the group? We don't have a name yet. Come up with it.
Yeah, literally.
Throw some shit at us, man.
I think we did it in Laguna. We did the Subimods showcase. That was on the line. It was more of a car show.
Yeah, but like,
we got it. It's not a showcase.
We need
insert Chat GPT.
We need a good name for this. So again, what do you guys want to see it as? And I see D. Alex Butler out there, the guy who runs Track Subies. I want to hear his thoughts on this too. Dude's OG as hell and has built probably the best Subaru track community in the world, in my opinion. Yeah. And I want to hear what he's got to say. Let's hear it. And who knows? Maybe we can make some sick shirts and shit out of it, so we can all hang out and be cool together.
And that's the other thing too, is it's like for us, it's like we are really open to like any idea that works. So that was something we talked about too, where it was like, hey, is there we have the trust of the community, we have the honesty of the community, or the community knows we're honest and trustworthy and we're investing. Is there a way to generate revenue?
Yeah.
Into the idea, right? Make it a self-fulfilling pot where it's like, hey, if you like what we're doing, maybe there's an IAG Subimods or a or whatever, a Gridlife, shirt. I'm just rambling now.
Yeah.
But that we donate all of the proceeds.
Yeah.
Into
the community to do more community shit.
Yeah.
Even if it's like
a dinner.
We do food. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
Like, I think that would be so cool to say, all right, hey, we bought all these say we brought 100, IAG, Subimods, Gridlife, Subaru, what, Hacienda?
Hacienda, right? I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
I don't know. That was a little, but
Dylan says we should call it the boxer pit. I mean, like, there's just like, I'm big on punk rock shit, so I kind of like, I dig that.
I'm tagging that one.
I like some punk rock shit.
I'll go for that. He's on the way. It's better than the Hacienda.
Yeah, that was just bad.
But like, what would the community feel like if they bought that shirt? And then, hey, like, look, today or over the weekend, it's the last night before. I mean, I'm not going to do it on a Sunday where we all got to leave. That's
yeah.
But hey, we've sold a good amount of shirts from the last one. Hey, all the Subaru guys, we're going to Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah. Oh my God, how ridiculous! How insane would it be if we all just blew into a Olive Garden?
I'll throw a plate on the drift car for that.
Shit, that would be funny.
But that's what I mean. That's the type of content. That's the type of community. That's the type of small business. We're big business in a way, right? Relative, both of us, and relative to maybe what some people think. But I'm not above doing that.
I'd really like to see. I'm excited to see the content you guys can make of this.
I want the Outback Steakhouse photo. I think
yeah, Outback Steakhouse or some crazy shit. Like, all of us just going to get ice cream is a really good time. That's like, we all just crash into a Sonic with 100 Subarus. Like,
it's little stuff like that that matters. As far as the content goes, this is for the drivers. I really want you guys to be open to new ideas, right? Some stuff that we might do you've never seen before. Ryan may come into Gridlife and go, hey, I want to do a driver profile on you. I want photos of you. I want photos of you in your car, yada, yada. And for some people, they may be like...
But you got to understand, like, let's say it's your first time there. Maybe you're a little weird on camera and whatever, but understand that a lot of people are weird on camera.
Yeah, and you could be someone else's...
You could be somebody's complete inspiration. Right. Like, that dude is just like me. That girl is just like me. If he's out here doing it, I can do it. And, like, that's... We want that. So, yeah, that's so true. Like, the community has to go two ways. Like, you guys have to put in too. Okay? Yeah. You guys need to be active within said community and helping each other out.
Correct.
So, like, we're going to try to put out as much as we can, but you also have to be there. It's only going to work if it's paid forward.
Exactly. And I mean, we will do everything we can. I mean, obviously with the drift taxi sessions at some events, we may not be able to take out 20 people, right? I think it's probably 3, 4, 5, but if you're passionate about it, make your voice heard.
Yeah.
And we'll do what we can for you.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is now, but I know I'll do something.
Yep. And who knows? The other thing I'd really like to see is, if you're a Subaru enthusiast, specifically, maybe you're not a Gridlife drift track enthusiast. Maybe you're like a rally guy or something, okay?
Yeah.
But look at this, like, there's gonna be essentially a Subaru meet at this Gridlife event. Go.
Yeah.
Go hang out and do Subaru shit at Gridlife. That's what we want to see.
Correct.
Like, let's get some of those OGs in the community out to maybe experience some new stuff with Gridlife, but be Subaru guys.
It's an ecosystem.
It is. And we want to bring that system to this.
And I think that's, what we were, talking about Subi events, right? And I think there's so much of that. We look at, you go to... where's a Subi event that crosses to a geolocation of a Gridlife off Connecticut? Wicked Big Meat.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Lime Rock, home state. Why is there 7,000 people who go to Wicked Big Meat?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
But there's not 7,000 Subaru owners going to Gridlife.
I don't know.
We can activate the same way there.
We absolutely could. And not only that, I got to be real. This is nothing against the Subi events.
Yeah, it's just a different...
This is nothing against them, but if you were actually break down dollar for dollar what you're getting...
Yeah, it's a different event.
It's a different event, but I'm telling you, come out and do the same shit, but we're going to pack together.
It's a second great day.
Why? You're going to have fun.
You can go to both.
Go to both. I invite... Please go to both. Go to both. Experience it. Have a good time. Same thing with, like... You get this a lot in the Midwest, but Subi Fest Midwest, they probably don't have the big numbers, but Gridlife Midwest, we get a decent amount of Subaru people.
Yeah,
but like, go get general admission and go hang out there. But the big one, just up the road, is Road America. and they have room to shove 100,000 people in there.
Yeah.
And they have enough room to where you could get a whole Subaru group of people and you could be in your own area on the track and have a whole camping area of just Subaru people having a Subaru meet for a whole fucking weekend. Yeah. Let's do it. And not only that, let's say you and I get this thing rolling, right? So we got IAG, we got Subimods, we're doing some cool shit and this is rolling. If we're having a good time and we're showing the numbers and people are there and the community's involved and they're excited, all it's going to do is put a spotlight from these other vendors and maybe even Subaru in general to go, hey,
this is something.
This is something. We need to do something with this. And then it grows. And that's because the community made that. Yeah. I mean, really, Wicked Big Meat and things like that, those were community-grown events.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's and as I said, I mean, I think every event has its, how do I word it? Has its allure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wicked Big Meat has an allure to it where I'm going to go see some of the best Subaru builds of all walks of life.
Yeah.
I'm going to meet some influencers, right? Some big names,
Sure.
Speed, Bucky, Travis. I'm going to see some cool demos, a lot of vendors, parts, stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Has that evolved over the years? Yes. Some could say it's changed. It has. It can't,
it can't not change.
It can't not, and it also sometimes can't change.
Yes.
Right? On both ends. But, there are, there's apples, there's oranges, mangoes, peaches, there's all different types of fruit, and there's all different types of events.
Yes.
And one doesn't have to do everything.
Yes.
That's my big point. And that's where I agree with, the Subi events guys do what they do well, right? Gridlife does what they do well. And at the end of the day, the community can activate at both of those and make something for themselves.
Now let's say they do activate really well at Gridlife. Let's say this is the seed.
Yeah.
And we start showing like numbers. That's how we get a Subimods US.
Yeah.
That's how this happens. We're like, look at the amount of people we have here. We need a Subaru-based one.
Yeah, because this is, it's funny you say that. This happens already.
Yeah.
We're talking about in Australia.
I know, it's called Subimods, and it's incredible.
And there's some crazy, and it's actually it's a vendor-occupied track day.
Yes.
Every vendor who has...
If they do Subaru shit,
they're there.
They're there. And I
actually want to go to that this year. I heard it's
wild.
Yeah, I heard.
I've heard nothing but insane stuff. Yeah. I've been invited multiple times.
Yeah.
People have been like, dude, we'll have a car here waiting for you. Just come down.
Yeah,
I'm like,
we know the guys at Car Mods Australia.
Yeah. I mean,
they built some.
If you guys do decide to do that,
I just want to
remember the homie.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll find a way.
It's a long flight. That's
I know, but I'll be like, I'll crash on the floor. We'll figure it out. It'll be a great time.
But that can happen.
No,
it's not out of range.
Seriously, and then.
I mean, the Australians can do it.
The Aussies can do it. Why can't we? We got all these insane tracks and crazy people all over the place.
Yeah.
Wild builds, and you could turn it into. An awesome beginner track day all the way up to a pissing match of all the fast Subarus in the country. Everybody wins. We've talked about this last time. I think this is the best path to it.
Yeah.
Because you believe in this concept.
I do.
I believe in this concept. And this is how you do it.
Yeah.
Dude, I know we're running way over on time, but I just love this so much.
I mean, I love this so much. But I'm here. I'm in this room until whatever time this place closes. But, in closing, we don't get to that idea without the community.
Yeah.
And that ultimately is where my call to the community is to say, if you guys like this idea, then be a part of it.
Yes.
Because
you have to, don't watch it, be it. Don't talk about it, be about it.
And that's what really sometimes bothers me is when people will say, oh, well, I don't like what's happened to this event or that event. And it's like, well, for lack of a better word, like, are you just bitching?
Yeah.
If you have voiced your opinion and no one's taken it seriously, then I think you have a right to continue that. But
my 2 cents is you don't got a right to bitch unless you vote. You can't vote if you ain't there.
You can't vote if you're not there.
Okay, and you got to be there.
You got to be there, and you got to make your voice known. And that's that's our job to deal with that.
Yep. And now I can understand why everybody can't make Wicked Big Meat.
I agree.
Okay, but. Gridlife events are all over the fucking country.
There's one everywhere.
There's one everywhere. You can figure this out.
Yeah. And that's where I think...
and they're worth it. Even if it wasn't for this, they're worth it. But this, if you're a Subaru person, is going to be such a massive value add. And
that's where I do believe that... And I hope too, with what we talked about, I mean, there's a name too, similar to that name, kind of the same name that I hope to bring, as well through. He was at the SMF track day, and I hope to be able to work that in as well, so that there's some
and like, so again, even going, this is just Gridlife, okay, but I come to Gridlife, even if you're not competing, come out. The more of this that happens, the more we can spread this into SCCA stuff. You know, there's a couple of smaller time attack events, the guys doing stuff. You know, we can miniaturize this. Maybe it's not like IAG and Subimods show up, but it's like, hey, community leaders are like, hey, we're gonna do this style event. You know, at this...
Correct.
That's so... We all win. And I think everybody wins if we do this. Just go to the track and have a great time.
And we talked about SMF last time, the track day.
Dude, I want to be a part of this. I am going to be...
The cool point that a lot of people saw, there wasn't a ton of people there. I think we had like 150 people.
Whatever. You got to start somewhere.
But what was really cool about that, what we saw was... We had Bucky there, and I'll speak to this because this happened, right? And I'm not saying we're not going to be able to do this in the future. We are, but this is on the playbook. It's on the idea board, right? It's a pitfall.
Okay.
What's cool about this is, hey, we can get some star power there. So maybe if you're not a driver and you don't profess to be, you can come and maybe
meet some people.
Meet some people, right?
Yeah.
And meet some people in a capacity where the people running it and paying for that individual to be there are not making that individual put the monkey suit on and do the crab walk.
Let them just hang out.
And that was what was really cool with him at SMF was the fee and what we did was he was like, what are we doing? And I said, you're just here, my friend.
Dude, you're just having a good time. And I bet you he was like...
He loved it.
Dude, this is great.
Yeah, he was driving, he's talking to people, he's laughing, he's eating, you know, he's signing shit if they want, you know. It was just simple.
He always does this GC after party at Boxer Fest. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I always make it a point to go over there, get Boogie over there, hang out with those guys, and you can tell he's more in his element because that's like a car meet, and he's like, dude, this... When he's over in the actual show, he's got to be something.
And people don't realize that. We actually, me and you spoke about that offline at lunch, where we were like, I go to Subi events, or Wicked Big Meat, Subi Fest, California, whatever, for everyone, and I got to put a suit on. Even if you don't see it, even if I'm dressed like this,
you have to.
I am putting a suit on, and I am acting a certain way.
I'm doing the same thing,
and I am putting a certain energy out there.
Yes.
Now you see me at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
When the flags come down.
Yeah.
You see the real me.
You're gonna learn a lot more about this, and it's gonna put an actual personality to this. And I think that's a good thing.
That's what I mean.
I think it's a very good thing because you're gonna know who these people are, good or bad. But it's you actually see that personality. These are human beings.
You see the person.
The person.
Not
exactly.
The company.
Not the company.
Yeah, and
it's a really good way of putting it.
That's the big thing is a lot of people come to those events and will say, oh, I met the guys from Subimods.
But did you?
Did you?
Yeah. I mean, you saw me.
Did you meet Nick? Did you meet Jalan, Lucas, Steve, Ryan, Justin, Chuck?
Yeah.
Did you know their names?
Exactly.
Because if you didn't know their names...
Did you really meet them?
Did you really meet them?
Yeah.
That's my thing.
And like really have a conversation.
And really get to the fact of why they're there. Why they're doing that.
Are they actual enthusiasts or not?
Yeah. And even a lot of my guys that don't have Subarus, they are enthusiasts.
That doesn't mean they're not enthusiasts.
They are taking pride in their job.
Absolutely. But even then, you can't do this job if you aren't some level of enthusiast.
They like it.
You can't. Well, I'm going to be real. JJ might kick open the door and punch me in the head, but I am not here for the money, okay?
He double parked my Ferrari out front. I gotta get out of it. No, I'm joking. No, neither am I. But...
No, I'm not in this for the money, and I'm not saying you can't make money doing this. You're in a position where you can do stuff like this. You know what I mean?
And it's a
same thing with JJ, but I'm not in this for the money.
No, and if I was, I'll be honest, I probably wouldn't be doing this.
No,
I wouldn't even, not no disrespect to anyone, you or anyone here, but why would I come down here?
Yeah.
Why would I do this?
Yeah, if you're just moving boxes.
If that's all I'm doing.
I get it.
Because it just wouldn't be valuable.
I don't want to mention any names, but I get it. We aren't going to go there at all.
We're going to go there, but But there's like I said, invest in people who invest in you.
Yeah.
And that's what this is.
Yes.
And that's what this is for us. I'm not saying that from a customer perspective. I know that there are customers who go to these events that buy from us. Now, I'm investing in them.
Yeah.
I'm not investing in this so that they invest.
I think again, it's all going to come full circle because the more people we get excited about this all makes more sense for us.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So if you guys want to know what the end goal is, because it's got to make dollars to make sense. Okay, it's just how this works.
It's just business.
It's just business. We want to do this to rev up the community.
Correct.
Okay, and if the community's excited, they're going to buy more shit to make their cars go faster, to go do cool shit at the track. And we want to be a part of that.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, like, this is the big point. You know, I see a lot of guys doing sim racing now. Mm-hmm. A lot of people who have Subarus or, you know it, you do the same thing.
I do sim myself.
I drive with a lot of guys on sim, drifting who have, Subarus as daily drivers.
Yeah.
Why can't you drive?
Go to the track.
Why can't you do that in real life?
Do it, dude. Let's get them out there.
Let's get them out there.
Let's get them out there.
And a chance to win some money.
Let's get them out there. And then you might even win some shit. It'll be a really good time.
Wendy's gift card.
The Wendy's gift card. It's going to be at least $10.
At least.
And so you can buy at least 2 junior bacon cheeseburgers.
Yeah, exactly. And we do the Outback dinner capped at 8-ounce steak.
Yes.
I
don't want anybody buying a damn T-bone, okay?
Ribeye, all right? Yeah. I don't have that budget. JJ...
Yeah, maybe he could throw for the ribeye. But
exactly.
Okay. All right, guys, it's been real. It's been fun.
Absolutely.
Nick, thanks for coming on again. It's cool seeing you here and being able to do this live. This is a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure we're going to end up having, like I said, like 3 to 5 more podcasts this year talking about this and how it's going. So
I definitely want to have one after we get some feedback too from you guys. So blow up the inbox. Dewey, I'll give you my email. You can put that in
we want to see, but comments. Blow the damn comments up. Yep. I want to see what you guys want to see. It's that simple. We want to see, we want the feedback. What do you want this to be? What do you think is missing that we could bring to the table? We want to hear it.
Absolutely.
So, all right.
Pleasure again, dude. Honestly, the closet. Time. We didn't hear the car though.
No, that scares me. So we'll have to go out there and see what's going on with that. Yeah. So, all right. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. We'll see you guys next week. And yeah.